Hey, how's it going? Today is day 88 of my 100 Day Inspiration Challenge, and today I want to talk about personal development. So, we all have our own journeys that we are going on, and hopefully, we are all working on ourselves and hoping to be better versions of ourselves. So, I used to look at things like personal development and almost be like nervous or uncomfortable with those things. But really, personal development is just a desire to be better or to be a better version of yourself. And so for me, I know that I felt lost and stuck and just like I wasn't living my full purpose. And that was kind of the thing that led me into diving into personal development because I wanted more. So there was this aspect of me that wanted more. So if there is any part of you that is feeling like something is missing, or you were made for more, or there is just something out there that if you had the information, you would be a greater version of yourself, then I would encourage you to lean into that and to seek the information because it is so amazing right now. There is so much information out there, and we literally have so much at our fingertips from the library, from the internet, from books, from podcasts, from websites. There is so much information to grow and become better versions of ourselves. So for me personally, my main personal development story started when I was about 21. And I read this book called The Slight Edge. And honestly, that was like a really pivotal time in my life. And The Slight Edge is basically all about the compound effect. So it is about taking small actions every single day, small consistent actions that over time add up to great changes. So it's not about those big moments. I remember when I went skydiving, I was like, I'm so excited to go skydiving. I'm going to be a different person on the other end. Or I was like, I'm going to solo travel out of the country for the first time and I'm going to be a totally different person. I'm going to see the world differently. And there might be like maybe a 0.5 degree change from those things. But as soon as they're over, you're exactly the same person pretty much. And so The Slight Edge talks about rather than those big changes, those big drastic changes, rather than focusing on those big drastic changes, focusing on those small daily disciplines that you can do every single day. And one of the greatest concepts that I learned from The Slight Edge, which like I said was the first book that I read to really start off my personal development journey, was the idea that if you are not growing, you are dying. So basically, if you are not working on yourself, then you are not just staying still. There is no such thing as just staying still in life. You are either growing or you are dying. So I would encourage you, I know this can be a harsh reality, but I would encourage you to take some inventory. And which side are you on? Are you growing and are you becoming a better version of yourself? Are you taking different risks and challenging yourself? Or are you just living in a pattern? Are you just going through the motions of life? Because if you are not growing, you are dying. There is no such thing as staying still. And so, like I said, The Slight Edge is all about taking small steps. So maybe it is waking up a little bit earlier. And by doing that every single day, you may not notice the difference in the day to day. Those small things, that's the thing about them. They don't make a huge difference in the day to day, but a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the change is huge. So it is all about those small disciplines. Life is so much about the small disciplines. It really talked about mastering the mundane. And instead of trying to focus on all of the things that we can do, all of the big things that we can do to better ourselves, focusing on just those small incremental moments or opportunities of change. So what can you do that can just slightly make your life a little bit better, knowing that if you commit to that same action, that same habit every single day, it will take you to a different place in your life. So I want to talk about some of the things that I do in my life that over time, like I said, I started this journey when I was about 25 and I haven't been perfect. There have been ups and downs, But over time, I have grown so much because of this concept and because I'm aware of it. So the first step is just being aware of it and being aware of taking responsibility for your life and knowing that you are responsible for your growth. And if you're not growing, then you are dying. And what do you want your future life to live, or what do you want your future life to look like? And knowing that you hold the keys to that future life. And it just starts with a couple small, simple disciplines. So a couple things that have helped me. And the thing about it is these things, these mundane tasks, they are so simple and they are easy to do. They are easy not to do. That is so interesting about this, because we are always looking for the next thing. But the biggest things that make a difference in our lives are those simple things. And those simple things, like I said, they're easy to do, but because they're so easy to do, they're also easy not to do. So paying attention to those small subtleties that will make a huge difference in your life. So some of the differences that have happened in my life since I learned about personal development and since I started on my personal development journey are a morning routine. So I used to hear people talk about a morning routine and I thought, okay, that's great for them, but like, I'm just not going to do that because I used to work in the morning. So I have taught fitness for a long time. I used to teach at 5 a.m. So I would wake up at 4 a.m. and I was like, my morning routine just doesn't fit in this. And then I realized that I get to design my life. I realized that I didn't enjoy teaching at 5 a.m. So I started saying no. That was the first thing that was so pivotal in my growth, was saying no to things that don't serve me, saying no to elements of life that don't make me happy, that don't fulfill me, and that don't lead me closer to the life that I desire. So I started saying no to the things that I didn't want. I started saying, you know what? I don't want to teach at 5 a.m. There are going to be other people that will teach at 5 a.m., but it's not for me because I can't do other things that I want to do if I am waking up super early and if I am teaching. So that was the first thing, was to say no to more things that don't serve me. The second part of that is trusting that things would work out. And that is really scary. It's scary to take a leap of faith and to trust and to not be able to see the other side, but to just believe that things would work out. So I changed my schedule and I said, I am no longer going to teach these 5 a.m., 6 a.m. classes because I am going to take my morning and create this morning routine, because I believe that that is the most important thing that I can do with my morning so that I am setting up my day for success. And I just made that decision. I made it important. I made it vital that my morning was going to be about me and growing the best version of myself, because I believe that if I am pouring into myself in the morning, then I can pour into other people throughout the day. And so I saw that as so important. And so I had to take a leap of faith because I didn't know how things were going to work out. But things worked out and different opportunities came into my life. So the first thing, like I said, it was saying no to things that didn't serve me. And by doing that, I created space for things that I do enjoy and for things that fit in alignment with what I want. And that is so important because I think that so often we feel like we need to do things out of necessity because of money a lot of times, and we don't. The most important thing that you can do is to take actions that are congruent with what you want and who you want to be. So being in alignment, taking actions in alignment with what you want, because if you do that, you will be unstoppable. That will lead to better opportunities for yourself. So I did that. I took that risk. I said, no, I'm not going to teach anymore in the morning. I took that risk. Things worked out. And then I created this morning routine. It was amazing. It put me in a better headspace. It made me so much more positive. It gave me so much more clarity. And again, these are super simple things, right? I could have I could have easily said, yes, I'll continue to teach, or I could have just slept in. But these super simple things that I decided to do over time, long term, they have changed my life. I am now a happier person. I literally never thought that I could be happier. I never thought that I could be happier. I used to look at people and I would call BS. I would call BS because I just didn't think it was possible. And I mean, I'm not saying that I'm always happy, but my emotional home is so much higher than it ever was. And that was because I took the time to do the disciplines. I made my personal development, I made my personal growth my number one priority. Because if we take care of ourselves, then we can take care of our loved ones. Then we can pour into other people, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. And I tried to do that. I tried to do that so much. I would say yes to everything. And then I was just depleted. I was angry. I was bitter. I was resentful. And it was just weighing on me. I was using the slight edge, but I was using it against me. I was using it to my demise, because if you're not growing, you're dying. And I was using the slight edge. I was doing those daily disciplines in the other direction. So I want you to think about how you are living your life in your day to day, because every single day matters. And yes, you might have days where you have something that's out of the ordinary, or you slip up, and that's okay. No pressure, no worries. But 6 out of 7 days of the week, how are you living your life? Are you living your life to become the best version of yourself? And if not, the only other truth, which is hard to admit, is that you are letting yourself become a worse off version of yourself. And who wants that? Who wants that? It feels so good to be happy. I used to live in this miserable state and I just accepted it. And I thought that that was just the way that it needed to be, but it doesn't have to be that way. And there are so many resources that are so accessible to you. And I would just encourage you to take a risk and go to your local library, look something up on the internet, or look up a podcast. 10 minutes a day of listening to some sort of inspirational information will make such a huge difference over time in the person that you are, in the person that you become. And it's not just about you. It is about all of the people that you get to impact along the way. It is about all of your friends and family. And it's not just about that. Eventually, it is about the strangers, the people that you don't even know right now, but the people that you get to impact as you grow in your journey, the people that you get to inspire. So I would encourage you to keep showing up for yourself. Keep striving to be the best version of yourself. It is okay if you mess up one day. It is okay if you don't get to what you want. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be shameful or embarrassed. It's okay, but keep going toward becoming the best version of yourself. The best version of yourself. Keep striving to grow yourself and to own the greatest version of who God created you to be, because you have so much more inside of you. So take all the actions that you need and be consistent. Be consistent. That compound effect, daily disciplines over time will make such a huge difference. Keep showing up for yourself regardless of where you are. If you do every single day, there is nowhere that you can go but up. Thank you so much. Have an amazing night. I'll see you tomorrow.